Welcome to another episode of the Muffed Sports Show. I'm your host, Hayden Haynes, and join me as always is Cody Hart and Seth Killen. Welcome back,
Yo,
boys.
Yo,
what it do?
what
Yes,
it
sir. We're back and we're almost man, I can't even believe I'm saying this. We're about halfway through the NFL season, a little over halfway or more than halfway of the college football season, and we got some bangers this week to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Especially some of those bangers we just saw last Saturday in college football. We will recap week 10 coming up here shortly and definitely dive into this week 11 preview with some big time SEC matchups. We've been getting fed in the SEC this season with some great primetime games. And
Great.
then NFL has been awesome too, can't lie. I mean, two out of three of our teams here have been pretty much balling recently. Sorry,
In the top
Cody.
10.
It's
Yep.
okay.
We're gonna
Going for
give
that
you
first pick.
we're gonna give you a little preview of the top 10 in the NFL, and then we'll get Cody's thoughts on who he wants the Titans to draft in the top 10 this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll break down NFL Week 9 recap, which was pretty interesting. Some good games, also some blowouts, but it is what it is. Week 10 looks like it's going to be some good primetime games. We'll definitely dive into those. There's three big ones this week, I would say. I mean, one is going to be on paper that doesn't look great, but it is still two very good teams. There's some context around that we'll talk about. But starting with college, we had a big game early on Saturday. Now, I was walking around Disney. I was at Epcot. I was trying to follow these games because, had some money on it, had some predictions on the pod, wanted to keep up with. I think I went on the pod with Cody and picked Penn State, but then I went to bet and I actually picked Ohio State minus like 3 or minus 2.5. Now,
hmm
they did cover that. So, I mean, we tell you guys all the time we flip our picks a lot right before kickoff. So, I mean, that was a toss up. Anything that you want to talk about in this Ohio State Penn State game that stands out other than basically Penn State once again kind of fell short like they always have been, as far as the big games. They can't get over the hump. They can't beat Ohio State. And 13 points? That's all you could do at home against your biggest rival. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
what else is there to say? Drew Aller, he's been a up and down quarterback. They don't have the weapons at wide receiver. They got good running backs. They got a solid defense. You held Ohio State to 20. Now, I mean, from the Ohio State perspective, they haven't been looking great the last few weeks, but they at least get a big win. So, I mean, that's good for them. But now Oregon definitely number one still in the Big Ten, but Ohio State's sitting right there after Indiana, who's still undefeated, but has like a 111th strength of schedule. So to say all of that in the Big Ten, what does this look like now after this game that we just saw with Ohio State, Penn State? What do we think? Who's winning it? What do we think about these teams?
Ooh. I mean, I still think Oregon's going to win it. I think they got the best offense. I think they're clicking on all cylinders. Their defense can be iffy at times, but I think they're good enough to kind of get a few stops when we need to. And I mean, yeah, like you said about Penn State, they can never get the big game done. It's like you want to see it, you want to see
Yeah.
them do it because it hasn't been done in so long.
I think that's
But
why we picked them, Cody. We just wanted to
yeah,
see it happen.
yeah, wishful thinking, man. I mean, they before that, I mean, they looked good. I mean, they kind of had a couple scares here and there, but you want to see them get it done, but they just never can.
Yeah, it's
It's
sad. I
rough
know.
being a Penn State fan right now.
Yeah, Logan's family, Greg and Griffin are Penn State guys, and they just
Yeah.
have always been like 10-2 ever since I've known them. And I feel like this was the year maybe they could go over the hump. But they look pretty good against some other lesser teams. But I still think Penn State's got everything they want in front of them as far as even making the Big Ten championship somehow. I mean, you
Mhm.
got to obviously have Indiana and Ohio State lose, but it's like there's a way. Obviously, there's always a way. There are a few
There's
games
always a
left,
way.
but Penn State does have the playoff right in front of them now. They kind of, to me, from what I've been hearing, got a little bit overrated in the college football rankings that just came out. I think they're at 6. A lot of people
They
thought
are
they were going to
sick.
be closer to like 10 or 11, which I kind of think that's where they are. I didn't
Yeah.
believe Penn State was that good to be top, 7 or 6 or whatever it is, but I get it. They played Ohio State close, so maybe the committee valued that. But at the same time, Ohio State's been struggling, like we mentioned. I think they had a good game running the ball. We talked about last
They
week how they
did.
struggled running the rock the last couple games, whether it was Nebraska or whatever it was. They really turned it up. They ran the rock, they played solid defense. That's all you can really do sometimes and just get that dub, against a good defensive team like Penn State. So
hmm
nothing much to talk about other than that. Seth, I know you like Ohio State a little bit, so it's good that y'all got the dub there.
Yep, I got them still winning the Big Ten.
So we kind of had that preseason, I believe, Cody. We had Ohio State winning the Big Ten because we thought, which has already
Oregon.
happened. Oregon beats them
Oregon.
in Oregon. They go to the Big Ten championship, and Ohio State gets that lick back. So we
It
think
could
that
very
We
well
do.
happen. I mean,
we
that's
think it's going to happen. We do.
yeah. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, a Cinderella story would be Indiana,
Oh my gosh. Now Indiana's
but
played
No.
nobody,
nobody. They
and
haven't played
but the
nobody.
thing about Indiana though, Josh Pate talked about this. You look at a team like Indiana, you want to say, oh, they haven't played anybody, they haven't played anybody. That's true, but what happens when you play teams that are lesser than you? You want to beat the doors off of them. Well, that's what
Yeah.
they do. They beat the doors off of everybody. They beat the hell out of Michigan State. They beat
Yep.
everybody that's come across their schedule by a significant
Yep.
margin.
Yeah.
They're just balling right now. They're really coached well. So I will say you can't count them out, but the strength of schedule is what it is. It's 111. 111,
Yeah.
and you're in the top 8 right now, but like what you got to win out basically to make it. If you lose one game, you might not make it, which is crazy, but that's just what happens when you have a weak schedule.
Mhm.
So we'll look at their schedule in a little bit later, see what they kind of have coming up. But I mean, they're definitely the Cinderella team. Them and BYU and Boise State are the 3 teams in the top 12 that are 3 teams we did not expect. Well, we kind of expected Boise State, I guess. We kind of expected them to be in the mix.
Yeah.
So yeah, Miami beats Duke 30 or 53-31. They keep playing these shootouts, but they keep just scoring 50 points. So Cam Ward is that guy, and I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think I have to say the Ashton Genty Heisman stuff has died down a little bit. Not like he's
Yeah.
been bad. It's just you play a schedule like Boise State, it's hard to have these Heisman moments.
Yeah.
And Cam Ward at least has like played a better schedule and he's been racking up the numbers. So I mean, I think we're gonna see him, Travis Hunter, and Ashton Genty for the final 3. You could talk
Mhm.
maybe Dylan Gabriel for Oregon, but I think right now Cam Ward at Miami is playing like the best quarterback in the country. Is there anything that you like to say about Miami, Cody? Do you think they're a real championship contender?
Yeah, I think that offense alone puts them up there. I think they got arguably the best offense right now in all of football. I mean, like you said,
Yeah,
they're scoring 50 here, 40 here,
yeah.
just outscoring everybody, even if their defense can't hold up like that. I mean, they got a good defense. It's just not as good as some others like in the SEC or
Well,
Big Ten.
their Louisville win last week looks a
Yeah,
lot better because
it
Louisville
does.
beat Clemson significantly by 2 scores, which will
Drummed them.
well, I guess we'll go ahead and segue into that. Louisville upsets
Yeah.
Clemson 33-21 in a night game at Clemson, I think,
Yep.
wasn't that? So I
It
mean,
was.
Clemson's out the playoffs, pretty much. I don't think they're going to make it, and it's probably going to be just Miami out the ACC. But
Yeah.
you never know. Whatever, there could be a few crazy teams that get beat, and it takes a chance for Clemson to sneak back in. But to say all that, Louisville, good team this year, very solid. We think they're going to be about 9-3 or whatever, and
Yeah.
probably play a good bowl game, and show people why they're a respectable opponent, and Miami gets a good win in that. And then what did they have earlier in the year? They beat Florida on the road.
Mhm.
Miami beat Virginia Tech in that crazy game on Friday night.
That
They
that game was amazing.
beat Cal on prime time. They came all the way back. I mean, there's a couple of wins that stand out that are like, okay, like they're not great, but they're at least quality wins. We
Yeah.
respect them. They're not the old Miami. They're clearly not good on defense, but
Mm.
when you put up points like that, they kind of like can get away with it to a degree,
Yeah.
especially in this college football, day and age where there's not elite defenses because the depth is not there for NIL purposes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Transfer portal, Georgia's defense struggled against Florida. We'll talk about that real quick. Georgia, to me, was going to lose that game. They wound up winning by 2 scores after a pick at the end, and they scored again to make it 34-20. But let's talk about real quick that crazy game because in the third quarter it was tied up. DJ Lagway
2020.
was doing his thing, like we talked about with Jay,
Yep.
keeping him in the game. And what happened? He gets hurt. And as soon as he gets hurt, you knew it was over
Right.
because Florida's on their 3rd string quarterback.
Mhm.
Yep.
So,
Everybody
Those
everybody
maps.
in that place said, "Yep."
so
Every
to me,
To
it's
me,
like I want to say this right now. I'm not trying to do victory laps because we know Georgia is good and we know they can win it all. But at the same time, we said over and over and over before the season, during the season, at multiple different points, Georgia is not as good as people think. They could
hmm
still win it all, but they're not the same Georgia team as before. They clearly had a problem with Bama. They clearly had a problem with Florida. And now they come into a big game next week. I know they beat Texas, but they had to win that one. They were amped up for that. But they
Mhm.
come into this next week off of another bad Carson Beck performance. He's played pretty bad this season.
Yeah.
And they're playing Ole Miss, who is flying high off of some high scoring performances, and they beat Arkansas 63-31, who we thought Arkansas would give them some fits. Turned
Hmm.
out, nope. Ole Miss is on a different level than them, and
They turned up now.
Ole Miss has figured something out. And I think this is a crazy game. We know it's a
Hmm.
crazy game, but I think this is the game that Ole Miss can sneak out. We'll give our previews and our picks in a minute. But to me, Ole Miss puts up 63. They've been putting up 40, 50, whatever it is. They have a good offense. They have looked a little weird at times against, like Kentucky or LSU. They kind of fell flat, even though it felt like they were going to maybe win that LSU game at some points. But to say all this, Georgia is looking a little different than Ole Miss right now. Georgia's a little bit, on the decline week to
Hmm.
week. I mean, it's up and down. It's a roller coaster for Georgia. They struggled against Bama, and then it's like they kind of looked a little like iffy against Mississippi State. They took care of business against Texas. Then they almost lost to Florida. If DJ Lagway would have played, who knows? Now we're just telling y'all. I mean, they don't have the weapons. They don't have Carson Beck. Getting a safety net to Brock Bowers and Lad McConkey. We told y'all this was going to be an issue. They don't have a great running game. It's just ETN, it feels like. What is like your thoughts on Georgia right now, Cody? And do you think that they're due for another loss?
Oof. This game is tricky coming up. Like you said, we'll talk about it in a minute. But for Georgia, I mean, like you said, they're a roller coaster. They go up and down. One day they look like the best team in the nation. Then they look like what's going on? What's going on with this Georgia team?
Yeah.
And like that Texas game, they looked really good. And then after that, who they play? Mississippi State, right?
Well, but before I think they played Mississippi State before that game, but
Before that,
they did. I think they had a game in between. It was Auburn, I want to say, right? Didn't they play
yeah,
Auburn or something like that? Or maybe
yeah,
that
they
was
played Auburn
before.
after.
Right. Well, I'll look at it just to confirm here in a minute. But they have, yeah, let's see real quick. They played Florida before, obviously. Before that, they played Texas. So they didn't have a game in between those. So I mean, hey, maybe it's a simple case of you beat a good Texas team, you come back and you just kind of fall flat against Florida. But I look at it
Hmm.
like actually y'all just have a problem when it comes to dual threat quarterbacks. And DJ
Yeah,
Lagway is gonna be pretty damn good, and he's just a freshman.
yeah.
So their defense has struggled a lot to me at stopping the pass. And
Hmm.
let's look at the stats just to confirm exactly the numbers. But Lagway wasn't killing it in the air game. He was like 2 for 6 for 47 and a tutty. So they didn't struggle this game particularly, but they gave him 115 rushing. They didn't, really get gashed. It was just like 3 yards a carry, but it was 20-20 because Carson Beck threw 3 interceptions.
Yep.
It's like I'm
Mm.
not saying the defense was that much to blame this game. I just say they haven't been as good as they have in the past. Plus, you have a Carson Beck problem. So he throws for 309, two tutties, three picks. Cool, 309 yards is great. Whatever.
Yeah.
But you throw 3 interceptions. Y'all run for 146. That's good. Some of that came late. Whatever. But it just looked like they were gonna lose that game. But then Lagway got hurt. So I don't know.
I think the I think what it is they've had a dominant run game for so many years, and now that's kind of it's they don't have that piece. I mean, they got good running backs. Don't get me wrong, but they don't have that fallback where you can
Yeah,
just
you're
give it
right.
off and get 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, whatever, how many yards,
No Brock
and just
Bowers.
no Brock, and
No
you don't have
Brocky.
the weapons.
You
You don't have
they
McConkey,
this is
McConkinator.
probably the least like talented offensive Georgia team we've seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean they're still a great team. Don't get
It's not
us
they're not
wrong.
bad, yeah.
They're not bad at all.
But it's like,
It's
are they
just
really the
not what we.
second best team in the country?
No, they are not.
Who is though?
Who is the second best team? Hold on, let me look at.
Because I'm gonna be honest, it's not very obvious. There's no,
No, there's no
hey,
clear cut.
it could change every single week. It was Texas, it was Georgia, it was Ohio State. You know,
I would put Ohio State and Miami over them.
it's kind of hard. I wouldn't probably put Miami, but I think Ohio State's better than Georgia.
I like
Because
Miami.
Georgia, I mean,
I think if Miami and Georgia played, I
be a
think
shootout.
it'd be a shootout. And I just think that Miami has they're clicking on all cylinders on offense. I don't think Georgia could be able to handle that pressure.
Like if they
I
were
think they
to turn over Carson Beck, yeah, it'd be hard for Georgia to overcome that.
exactly.
You're
That's
right.
why I say I would put Miami personally
Mm-hmm.
over Georgia. Right, as
You
of
might be
now.
right, just because they're undefeated and all that. I think you're right. You got to go with the two undefeated teams, 1 and 2, just because
Yeah.
it's hard to deny an undefeated team, no matter what. And we haven't seen the Georgia like of the past. I know they have that, win against Texas. But anyways, we'll move off of Georgia. Let's go into the Ole Miss game again. We touched on that. Ole Miss, Arkansas, 63-31. Now for Ole Miss, really, what have you seen that's different than the games that they lost to LSU and Kentucky? I mean, clearly they're putting up ridiculous amount of points. Is it just that, or you see anything else that stands out? Because
Personally, I mean,
I
I
feel like
think
it's just Jackson Dart's on another level now. He's
yeah, I was
determined
just about to.
that they got to make the playoffs.
Yep, I was just about to say the same thing. I think Jackson Darnold, he just knows. I said Jackson Darnold, Jackson
Jackson
Dart.
Dart, yeah.
Yeah, but he's playing on another level right now, man. He wants it.
515 yards, 6 tutties, 0 picks,
You
brother.
telling me? Are you telling me you're finna stop that,
25 of 31, dude. He's playing himself up in the draft.
dude? Yeah. I mean, he's proven it. And if he wins this game, and he puts up stats like 3, 4, 5, however many yards, a couple tutties in there,
Yeah,
maybe a little Russian stat
right. I mean,
A little
dude,
Russian
in
stat.
that game,
I'm glad that Alabama doesn't have to play Ole Miss this year.
dude. I
I
think
don't care
our
if they
defense.
lost. I don't care if they lost to Kentucky because that's a little weird, fluky game,
Yeah,
whatever. And then the LSU game, I mean, it was an OT game at night in Death Valley. It's like, I'm going to give you a pass on that. It
I'm
was
gonna give you a pass on it.
29-26. Y'all's defense kind of sold. So it was
Yeah,
what it was.
that's what I think. Comparing the two, our favorite team, Alabama and Ole Miss, their offense is, I think, better than ours personally right now.
Just because their
But
passing game is elite,
is
but we
elite.
can run. We can run the ball. It's
We can
just
run the
we
ball.
don't want to run the ball. Alabama wants to throw it because that's the DeBoer system. But now it's like you saw the Missouri game. The Alabama leaned on the run. We're going to talk about Alabama LSU, and to me, that's a big reason why Alabama can win is if they lean on the run. But we'll get
Mhm.
into that in a minute. I want to touch on the last couple of games from week 10 real quick. South Carolina, we called it. Every single one of us. South Carolina beat Texas A&M by 24.
Let's
And
go.
we said it was going to happen. It was a trap game for Texas
Trap
A&M.
game.
This is a stereotypical like Texas A&M is on a high of all highs. They haven't been this good in a minute. Then they come to a tough South Carolina team at night with a new quarterback, and basically you just don't have that much, there to kind of fall back on. You just only
Mhm.
know a little bit about that quarterback, Marcel Reed, and he's just still young, and I'm gonna give him a pass. But at the same time, South Carolina's pretty good, dude.
They're
We
really
told everybody they're better than the 3 losses that they have. Like they're a problem, and how they're not ranked, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't get it.
but Texas A&M is now 2 losses. They're down and out of the playoff race unless they win out. Unless they win out, right? So they would have
Yep.
to beat Texas. They would have to, take care of business in that regard. And I think if they were to do that, they would make the SEC championship game and probably play whoever wins, this Georgia Ole Miss game or rematch Texas again, which would be kind of bizarre to see Texas and A&M play 2 weeks in a row.
That would be crazy work.
Like they lose to Texas, but then turn around and play them again in Atlanta. That'd be bizarre.
That'd be
That'd
kind
be
of lit.
It would be
yeah.
kind of lit, but it'd be like, bro, like we just played y'all. Like, can we have a minute? But
Yeah.
I wonder
I
how
don't
that
know.
would go.
I think that they would do totally. One team would probably try to like if they got blown out, they would try to just be like, all right, we're starting over. We're gonna do a whole different game plan. But if another team won, they would stick to that, and it might be their downfall instead of like trying
Yeah.
to switch it up a little bit. Because I've seen that in the NFL, like teams that play back to back, whether it's like a long time ago, like the Ravens, not a long time ago, a few years ago, Ravens and Bengals played at the end of the year. Then they turned around and played in the playoffs. And like it was kind of like one of those things where the Ravens almost screwed up because of that. But we'll see, man. I just think that's interesting. I mean, obviously anybody can make the SEC championship right now that has 1 or 2 losses.
Yep.
LSU, Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia, Texas. I mean, dude, A&M, it's a lot. There's a lot of teams.
Mhm.
So Tennessee, don't forget about Tennessee. All these teams are really in the thick of it. I think there's 8 top 25 teams in the SEC, which is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
8, bro. Like now, people gotta understand. Like, okay, Bama lost to Vanderbilt. Okay, guess what? They're ranked. Like, everybody's good in the SEC, bro. So
Everybody.
let's just relax. And one last thing is actually no, that was it. Okay, so let's dive into week 11. So I guess we can just go ahead and start with Bama LSU real quick. What do we have to do? What does Bama have to do to get the win in Death Valley at night?
A miracle. Hope and a prayer.
A miracle. It's not that bad.
Uh,
What you mean? Alabama's number
no,
11. LSU's 14. Alabama is favored by 2.5.
for Bama, our defense has to be locked down because they're going to want to sling the ball. That's what they like to do.
Yep.
That they want to get the ball out to their playmakers on the outside.
Yep.
But we got to limit that, and we got to force turnovers on the defense. And obviously, we got to. They do have a run game. It's been picking up as of lately a little bit, but we got to stop that as well.
Yeah.
And we got to do a lot of things on defensively, which I think we can. We've improved definitely, especially in the
Well,
Missouri game. We looked good, but
I will say about the run game. It, to me, in my opinion, has been really bad this year because they lost a lot of their running
they
backs.
have been bad, but it's been
Yeah, but
better than.
last game they ran for 24.
Oh, never mind.
They had 23 carries for 24 yards.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh?
23
That's
rushes,
awful.
but they threw for 405 yards. Now they had 3 interceptions, and that's why they lost to A&M by 15. So, Cody, I do think they're a problem for a lot of reasons, whether it's Kyron Lacey or Aaron Anderson and Nussmeier. But to me, Bama looked good on defense against some passing teams like Georgia and Tennessee. They
Mhm.
turned them both over. They played pretty solid. I know Georgia had that comeback, but what we talked about, it was a little different. They had to go for it on all the fourth downs, blah, blah,
And
blah.
Tennessee.
Tennessee didn't look good. And then they scored on Bama because Bama couldn't keep just playing defense the whole game. They were never scoring on offense, so the defense was always on the field. So Bama's defense has been good. They just shut out Missouri. It's been better than people think. The South Carolina game, they weren't that bad. It just came down to some weird kind of plays
Crazy
at the
plays.
end of the half and at the end of the game. So there's context to everything. The only bad game the defense has really played was Vanderbilt. They couldn't get
Yep.
off the field,
Mm.
so it's not that bad. And Vanderbilt's now ranked, so it's like they're really not. Alabama's defense is not that bad. Plus, they have a defense that is it's set up to stop passing attacks. They run the 3-3-5 or the 4-2-5 sometimes or whatever it is. They have more DBs on the field than they have linemen. Okay, so that's all you
Mhm.
need to know if you're a casual ball person. So really, they're not going to have a crazy amount of disadvantages when you line up. You're going to have a lot of DBs on the field. You're going to have fast linebackers, okay, to go pressure the quarterback. The thing is, you cannot let Nussmeier sit there and dot you up because LSU's O line is pretty damn good. They got like a tackle
Yep.
that's top 10 in the draft. I think it's Will Campbell or something like that. And I'll fact check that in a minute. But they have a great O line. They got a great quarterback. They got great wide receivers. Don't have a good run game. Alabama stops everybody's running game. Now, that could be wrong. I could be eating my words on this. I just know Bama does not give up a lot of rushing yards. So to me, if you get pressure on Nussmeier, you make them one dimensional, turn them over like you said, and then on offense, really
We
what
got
are
to
they? You got to run the ball.
run the
Got to
ball.
run the ball. Make Jalen Milroe not have to throw it 50 times or 40 times, which they haven't been asking him to do that as of late.
Mm.
But when he's got to make the couple throws that he's got to make in each half, he's got to hit them. Like you got to hit with
Yeah.
this deep ball to Ryan Williams in this game. You got to do that once or twice. You got to find Jeremy Bernard across the middle. Don't turn the ball over. And the
Don't
problem
do
that
it.
Alabama has that we all know, and it comes down to those two things.
Penalty.
But the X factor is penalties. You keep it less than 7 penalties, I think you can win the game.
Oh, we're winning the game.
Less than one turn or 2 turnovers, like one turnover max, 7 penalties max, and you turn LSU over once or twice, I think you got a shot. I really do.
No, for sure. For sure. Most
So I will
definitely.
pick Bama, but
I'm picking
I'm
Bama.
picking Bama specifically only because LSU doesn't have a run game. Alabama's defense is set up to stop the pass enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in the young DBs that we have that will fill in. Plus, we saw Bray Hubbard look really good.
He
We
looked
know
phenomenal.
Zabian Brown's young, but he's a 5-star who's looked good in the Georgia game at times, and
Mm-hmm.
he's gotten better. Damani Jackson's
It's
a
locked.
lockdown. You have Malachi Moore's experience. There's guys, and the
There's
linebackers
playmakers.
are really good, but it's like
Um,
the D line who's been solid has got to get there. And
got to get pressure. Got to get sacks.
Kane Womack doesn't love to send blitzes, but this time he might be scheming something up. So
We got
that's
to.
that's my prediction. I think it's going to be a good game. The over under is
Great.
at 58.5. So do you think it's like a lower scoring game, either Seth or Cody? Do y'all want to predict the score right now? 58.5 is the total.
58. I think it might go over.
I'm
Mm,
kind of thinking it goes under.
I'm gonna go
I'm
32-28.
Who?
so it goes over.
Bama.
That's
Mm-hmm.
60.
So
That's
get
what I was like 27-33.
Yeah, 32-28 would be 60. So you said 27-23?
27-33.
27-33. Okay. I'm LSU's defense is solid, but it's not like the best defense they've had. They clearly struggle with Marcel Reed running the ball. If Bama can take
Mhm.
some things out of that, I don't know. I could see us scoring in between what Ole Miss had, which was 26, and A&M at 38. And I kind of think Cody's right. I'm gonna go Bama 31, LSU 27.
I like
So
that.
that's my prediction, and
Well,
I think it's a battle.
31-27. Mine's 32-27.
Okay,
Or
okay, yeah,
32-28.
yeah,
So
we're right
just 2
there.
points.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically thinking it's going to be a battle, and it's a little bit of a shootout. Now the next best game, Georgia Ole Miss, definitely seems like we're leaning Ole Miss here,
Mm,
Cody. Now,
hmm
Yeah.
Seth, do you want to start off with your prediction on this?
I mean, I agree with what y'all were talking about earlier about Georgia, and then we brought up them fighting Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss has just been in a battle of just a bunch of shootouts, or not even shootouts, but
They're
they're just
just
winning by
scoring.
large margins. And
Yeah,
if Georgia's defense can't keep up, as long as they don't do what Bama did and
give up a
give up all those points
yeah,
because they feel like the game's over, I mean, you still got to play the game. And I think Ole Miss can. I mean, if Georgia's not there to play the game like they haven't been in
yeah.
some of these games, I don't think they'll win. I think
I
Ole
got
Miss is taking it by maybe 3 tutties.
three. You think they're going to just go
3.
crazy?
I think they might go crazy. If
Okay.
Georgia's not ready to ball, like they could get cooked real
I think
easy.
you're kind of right about
You're kind of
them
right.
in the defense. Like I think they could give up a lot of points, but the thing that worries me about Ole Miss is that we know Cody, Ole Miss's defensive coordinator came from Bama, and he was not good. Pete Golding was a
Keep
bad
going.
defensive coordinator. Now his problem was really stopping the run, like with quarterbacks, and
Hmm
he gave up a lot of air yards, from good like spread you out like teams like Tennessee and whatever. But I don't know if I trust Carson Beck enough and their weapons. And I think I've seen a little bit more from Ole Miss to make me feel better. Like, look at what they did against LSU. They didn't get blown out by LSU. They didn't give up more than 29 points against LSU. They gave up only 20 to Kentucky when they lost. They just didn't play good on offense that day. So it's like, I don't trust Georgia enough, but I didn't even see them when they beat Texas play good on offense. They just won because of defense. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm going to go in between what Seth was saying and also what the line is, which I think, let me check it right now. Does anybody have an idea what the spread might be? I'm sure Georgia's favored by a couple. They're favored by 2.5.
Yeah. I was just
Similar,
about to.
similar to the Bama spread and LSU. Both these games are tight spreads. 54.5 is the total, so a little bit less than Alabama LSU. So they're thinking maybe the defense steps up a little bit. I'm gonna say Ole Miss gets the dub. I'm gonna
Hmm
say Ole Miss puts up 28. No, I'm gonna say Ole Miss gets a field goal. 31 for Ole Miss. Georgia 23.
Wow.
Poor Brett.
Sorry, Brett. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Hey,
31-23.
You know what? 42-28.
Ole Miss.
mm,
Ole Miss.
Okay. Okay.
we're
Yeah.
cooking with
I
fire here
think
now.
I think they get a late interception. I think they're already up by 1, and then they get a
Yeah.
late interception and go down and score. And that no,
Yeah.
that's I think they're going to be
It's the icing
rolling.
on the cake right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that. I think we're definitely on a lot of the opposite sides of some people with this game. I think a lot of people are going to say Georgia because they just don't know enough about Ole Miss, maybe. But yeah, I think like Colin Coward today was like talking about Georgia. I'm like, buddy, did you just see them almost lose to Florida? Like, I don't think people are just like, oh, they're number two. I'm like, are they? Are they really that good? I don't know. Anyways, so Florida, Texas. This is kind of a sneaky game. Obviously,
Yeah.
Florida might be without DJ Lagway. I don't know what's the extent of his injury. I guess we can check into that a little bit more. We weren't as prepared as we should be. Sorry, guys, but I don't think they're going to win
No.
Regardless, but it looks like he's questionable. It looks like he has a chance. Uh, he he's trying to get himself ready to play, but he's got a hamstring strain. Okay, so we'll see. I think there's a chance that he really could just not play this game. So I'm gonna lean Texas by a few tutties.
Yeah.
Just gonna say, just to be safe, just because I don't know the injury, really that well. It's the Lagway, but if he does play, that could be a problem for Texas. Let's just talk
Yeah.
about that for a minute. If DJ Lagway plays, dual threat, big arm, does he have a chance to go into Texas and make it interesting?
Yeah. I mean, he if
Even
he would have
even
stayed,
bang even banged up, where like let's say he can't run as fast.
I still think he could make things something shake.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what he was doing to Georgia when he was healthy. Even though he's not might not be healthy during this game, I think he's got good arm talent. But I know he depends on his legs a lot. That's the downfall. So
Yeah.
if he was healthy, yes. But
Spread is
as of
21.5, by the way.
oh,
Mm.
That's probably
I
them
don't,
thinking that he doesn't play.
yeah, for sure.
Um, I
I mean,
kind of, I kind of,
I think if he doesn't play, I think that hits.
yeah, I think they could win by like 24. But
Yeah,
if he plays, it could be like 10 to 14.
yeah, I would agree.
But yeah, just interesting SEC game. I mean, they're 4-4, but Florida, we knew, coming into the season had the hardest schedule, so they're definitely going to be beat up, man. I mean, it's hard to
Yeah,
expect them not to be. It is what it is. So Texas can get that dub, we think. And really, another game, like quickly, Miami at Georgia Tech. Sure, Miami wins another big shootout.
yeah,
Just
Yeah.
wanted to just gloss over that real quick. And then Indiana, Michigan. Indiana's at home. Kind of interesting game, but Michigan's not been good. So Indiana could
Indi-
get a nice win, I guess. But it's like at the end of the day, they're still not going to really like change people's minds until they beat somebody really good, which probably won't happen until the Big Ten championship if they upset Oregon. But
yeah.
yeah, they got to win this Michigan game to stay alive in the playoff talks. I mean, you got to beat them by a couple scores too. Just
I
because at
think they
this point
do.
you're trying to play for like the flashy wins. Like you need some big time wins. Like not even. It's just like you got to put up points. You got to keep looking good on offense. So
Yeah,
they got to do that. And then Colorado is now 20 in the playoff, 21 on this, but 20 in the playoff rankings. So they're 6-2. They're hanging around. Okay.
yeah,
Colorado's a team nobody likes. They want to be done with them in the Schroeder and Travis Hunter era, but I don't think it's over just yet. And I think they have a pretty good chance to win out. And if they win out and they're 10-2, oh boy,
Oh
do
boy.
they make the playoffs?
yeah. They
Because
do.
they're talking about, oh, the Big 12 might only get one team, and that would be BYU. Well, let's take a dive real quick into the rest of the schedule for Colorado. Now they play at Texas Tech. Texas Tech just had a good win against number 11 Iowa State, I believe. They won by one. So Texas Tech is 6-3. They'll be ready for that game at home
Yeah,
against Colorado. So let's not sleep on Texas Tech. The spread is Colorado -3. I will continue to ride with Colorado. Okay. I do think they're going to get the dub. Now, let's look a little bit into the future. Do they beat Utah next week, who's been struggling at home
yeah.
in
They do.
Colorado? Okay. So
They
they're 8-2 at that point. On the road at Kansas, who's not good. Yes. Get a win.
Yep.
Yeah.
At home to end the season against a 3-6 Oklahoma State team currently.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
So
yeah.
they're 10-2. And the only thing that stands in their way is really a 3-loss SEC team, is what I've heard could get in. So let's say LSU or Bama's 3-loss or Ole Miss's 3-loss.
Bro, if it's
They,
Alabama versus Colorado,
but
that'd
but
be kind of
like
funny.
but like, what if they don't like? Let's say they pick Alabama or LSU or Ole Miss over Colorado. Cody, do
Oh,
you think that's
oh,
to make the
oh. I see.
playoffs
Yeah.
as like the 11th team? Because the
Mm.
12th team goes to the highest, like it would be like Boise State. But for if they're trying to decide the 11th seed and they think the SEC is really really good and a 3-loss team is not that crazy to get in, Cody, do you think they would choose a SEC 3-loss team over Colorado, or would they want Colorado in because of that money?
That money.
oh, that's
But
tough. I would say,
SEC produces all the money too, so it's like what
That's
I
true.
would say they go with the.
who's the
I would
better
say they
team?
go. I would say they go with the SEC
I mean,
just
yeah, you got.
because you got better opponents in the SEC. You're playing a
Right.
better schedule in the SEC. And if your losses look better than their losses, that's
like
written on the wall.
is almost beating Colorado right now on a neutral site.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So BYU's undefeated. That's the highest ranked Big 12 team. We assume they're going to win the Big 12 championship. But let's look at their schedule. Utah this week on the road. Think they win that. They're only favored by 4, but I think they win that. Kansas win. Arizona State on the road. Arizona State is 6-2. I would assume they get a win. And then Houston, the end of the year, 4-5. I think BYU wins out. Now that means that they would be a lock pretty much to make the playoffs. So
they pretty much are.
I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is like Colorado kind of needs like some stuff to happen. Like they can't just only win out. Like they kind of need to win out and have somebody else lose a couple or lose a couple teams lose a game or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like they would love if Bama and Ole Miss both lost or whatever, you know?
Oh, they'd be smitten.
Like they need them to both have 3 losses or LSU and Ole Miss to lose, you know, whatever it is. They just need some teams to make it interesting. But to say all that, they should beat Texas Tech. I think that's pretty much what we're thinking, right? There's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a way,
They'll
but
beat Texas Tech.
we don't think they're gonna. Yeah. South Carolina Vanderbilt, good game, really good game. Who wins this one? Should be a ranked matchup here, but they don't respect South Carolina for whatever reason. Vanderbilt at home, do they get that dub? Because I kind of like the South Carolina Gamecocks.
I do too. Yeah, that's what it's hard.
I mean, we bet on
I
them
like
last week.
South Carolina's defense.
And it's not like there's a home field advantage for Vanderbilt.
That's true.
South Carolina's D line is pretty good.
That's what
I'm gonna go South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean we all went on them last week.
They beat A&M pretty easily. So give me South Carolina to beat Vanderbilt.
I like South Carolina.
I think A&M is better than Vanderbilt for sure.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Give me the Commodores.
Oh Lord, the fighting Diego Pavias.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Give me Diego.
Okay. But yeah,
Diego and the boys.
Lenore Sellers and Rocket Sanders, I feel like could have a good game, but that
I love both these teams.
This will be a fun game.
This is gonna be a great game.
Definitely watch that before the Bama game for sure. Like have that and the Georgia Ole Miss game on.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
On the quad box.
Yeah, and Colorado, Texas Tech. There's some decent games at like that 4 o'clock.
It's a good week. Week.
Yeah, Notre Dame, Florida State. We don't even care.
Nope.
Florida State, you're 1-8. Why are you even on this graphic?
What are you doing?
Sorry, guys. Oklahoma, Missouri. I mean, not great, but Missouri should win at home. Washington at Penn State. Interesting because
won that game.
Yeah, but Penn State should get the dub. So that wraps it up for College Football Week 11 preview.
Yes, sir.
Dive into Week 9 of NFL real quick. Okay. Thursday night, it was Jets, Texans. A lot of people were down on the Jets for all the reasons you can be down on the Jets, but they were favored. The Texans didn't have a couple of guys at wide receiver, whether it was Nico or it was Nico and Diggs, but they lost still. Even though people were down on the Jets, I kind of went back and forth on my picks. I should have stuck with the Jets pick. It is what it is. Sometimes you just flip it the last second and it burns you. So that happened to me. But what do we think about the Jets right now? Are they going to be anything? They have an easy schedule to finish the season. Do they have a chance to make it interesting? I mean, right now they're 3-6.
I mean, they're going to have to start winning.
Yeah,
they're going to have to start winning.
Now the Texans, what do? They don't have elite wide receiver play. They're getting Nico back soon.
I was about to say Nico might be coming back this week.
Yeah, so does that put them right back where they were to start the year, or is that Diggs thing hurt them a little bit?
I think Diggs hurts him a little bit.
Yeah. Diggs definitely hurts them, but I mean, with Tank Dell and Nico coming back, they'll be okay.
They're struggling blocking for CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, CJ's getting boomed.
Getting killed.
Definitely gonna have to work on that O-line.
Yep, and then obviously Falcons beat the Cowboys. Cowboys are not good. Not good at all. They scored late to make it close, but Falcons pretty much were dominating most of that game. 27-21. I mean, Falcons are 6-3. Cowboys are 3-5. Now Cooper Rush is the quarterback because Dak's got a hurt hammy. CD's a little banged up. Does this mean Cowboy season is over?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, and my dynasty is over as well.
Well, you have
Yeah.
Cooper Rush, man. You're good. Plug him in. They said he's fine. The DC for the Eagles said nothing changes, that he's the quarterback. I said, oh,
Oh, that's kind of
that's a
a
diss at
shot.
Dak.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing changes?
Nothing changes.
Nothing
I mean,
changes,
I'm
huh?
not gonna lie. Remember that year that Cooper Rush came in and won 5 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was balling.
He better
Nothing.
do it this year.
Dude, they should have never paid Dak, by the way.
No.
Too much money.
Too
60
much
million,
bread.
60 mil a year for a couple
To be
playoff
what?
wins? Like, no. I'm
No.
sorry.
Come
I
on.
just don't. That's the worst thing you could have did. And then you go trade a 4th rounder for Jonathan Mingo. Like,
That's
bro,
so bad.
you could have had Mike Williams. You could have had uh anybody that got traded before the deadline. I mean, there was talks that Cooper Kupp would have been traded. I mean, you could have at least sent aggressive offers out there to see what would happen. I mean, you're sending a 4th for that guy. I mean, you traded Amari Cooper away a few years ago for nothing. Like, what are we doing, bro? You could have just held on to Amari Cooper. Like, there's so many things
Yeah.
you
Dude,
could
if
have
Amari
did.
Cooper was still on there now, they
Yeah,
could be
it could
kind
have
of
been.
cooking.
It could have been nice.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of problems, whether it's
Yeah.
defense or offensive line or whatever. So, running game too. They have no running back. Ashton Genty obviously will not fix everything next year, but he'll help if they get him. But it is what it is. Enough of the Cowboys. Everybody talks about them too much, anyways. Bills beat the Dolphins on a last-second bomb field goal by Tyler Bass, like 60-something
Yeah.
yards, 30-27. Dolphins did look pretty good this game. They're definitely a lot better with Tua. We know that. So, two things about this. I mean, the Bills are good. The Bills are still good. Whether
Dude, they
Josh
were
Allen is
good.
getting underrated, or
Yeah.
maybe I'm adding Amari Cooper will help long term. Who knows? He didn't even play this game, and they still won. Doesn't even matter. Josh Allen's that guy. So they play good defense. They run the ball. They have Josh Allen. That's all I need to know. And
Pretty
we'll
much.
see. We'll see where we rank them at the end of this. Maybe they're in our top 10. Maybe they're not. But I'm feeling that they will be.
Nope.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Cardinals beat. Sorry, Jack, if you ever tune into these, but Cardinals beat the Bears 29-9. Bringing up these teams because they're both similar records and they're kind of fighting for a playoff spot. Now the Cardinals are actually first in their division, but for how long we don't know. Got the Niners with Christian McCaffrey coming back. Got the Rams with Cooper and Puka coming back. So are the Cardinals really good or are the Bears really bad? I don't want to be like this, but I think the Bears are really bad. And I picked them to make the playoffs.
We did.
I think they're
We did.
bad. I think they're actually bad.
I just think it's the coaching, dude. They can't
Yeah.
draw up a scheme.
Did you
really.
see DJ Moore don't even care anymore? Like he's not even trying.
Yeah.
He's literally running out of bounds and quitting on the plays. He's not even running his routes like fast.
Oh man.
I think he wants to get traded.
Oh.
No, and they just paid him a lot of money.
You know where you should go?
Oh, they just paid him a bag.
To the Steelers.
Yeah, good. Jack would be so pissed.
He needs to go to the
Jack would be so bad.
Yeah. Nah,
Oh,
but
he would
the
actually
Bears,
hate that.
the Bears are rough right now, man. I'm sorry.
No, they are. I mean, I feel like the Cardinals are pretty good.
Cardinals are
they,
pretty good. Pretty good team.
Trey
They run the
McBride,
ball. They have
James
Trey
Conner.
That's true. Let's talk about that real quick. I saw something. They have arguably a great player at each skill position. Now Marvin Harrison Jr. has had his up and downs, but he's a rookie. We know what he can do.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray could be top 10 at times. He's played a lot better. And then you have a borderline top 10 running back in James Conner, who's been really solid. And then you have Trey McBride, who's probably the best tight end, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, besides K-Dot, I mean, right now he's
right now, yeah. But like Travis is looking good. You got George Kittle, but I'm saying like statistically, we're talking about yards and catches now.
and like average.
Dude hasn't had a tutty because Kyler won't throw it to him in the end zone because he was
Which
wide
is
open
crazy.
and he just didn't even look at him. But
He's
he's got tons of targets and catches and yards. But he's a great route runner. He's fast. He can catch anything. Good tight end. They got a decent defense. That's probably what they'll address in the offseason. But they could be pretty dangerous. But I do think they still got to fill out a couple of those holes. Now, Lions Packers was supposed to be a great game. It was not. It was an ugly, rainy kind of game. Packers were not ready. Jordan Love threw a pick 6 before half, and that was pretty much it. So they lost 20-14. Now, does this just mean Lions are just officially the best team in the? Well, I guess we'll talk about that in our top 10. But I guess I'll add it, or I'll segue into them being for sure the best team in the division. Like, there's no question the Packers are even gonna sniff that first team in the North, or the Vikings. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, are they pulling away in the NFC North now?
Yeah,
I mean, I think so.
I would say so.
I
I
mean,
think
dude,
they're
they're
close to it.
cracked.
They're
I
just
mean, Jared Goff is doing things that no quarterback does.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
at least throwing wise, I know if we are talking about quarterbacks doing things nobody's done, I mean, Lamar's looking like
But he's
a
dotting. He's just
superhuman.
like, it was in the rain, and Tom Brady was calling the game. He was like, I didn't think they were gonna throw the ball like they were throwing today, but I mean, Goff is still dotting everybody
Dude,
up.
him and Amon-Ra have 30 straight completions.
30?
30 straight completions, no drop passes.
Nah, that's crazy.
And guess who traded him?
Cody. Sorry. Cody.
Sorry,
Yep.
I had to bring that part up because Cody came right into the cam.
Pause.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, so moving on. Rams beat the Seahawks in overtime, 26-20. Rams are pretty good, right? They got Puka, but he got thrown out the game.
Ejected, dude.
And he threw a punch, but they still got Cooper Kupp with like 14 catches or targets or whatever it was.
Dude.
And they
This dude
won.
is a reception machine.
Yeah, let's talk about Demarcus Robinson. Not Tutu
Dude.
Atwell, but Demarcus Robinson being the guy that stepped up and
That's
got a
what
one-hand tutty.
Yeah, that's what Jimmy was talking about, picking him up. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's worth it. Yeah. I
But
said Puka is still there.
yeah, he's gonna be there. So Rams are pretty good though, right? They kind of got cooking when they got their guys back. Plus, Jared Verse is looking like the defensive rookie of the year, even though none of us really picked him. So we kind of, I mean, he could obviously not win it, but it looks like he's getting better and better each week. He's a problem. So the Rams are pretty good. We got to watch out for them. And then the Vikings on prime time. We all picked the Colts. How stupid were we? Vikings beat the Colts pretty easily. It didn't even look like a close game, but it was 21-13 at the end of it. Now, the Vikings, are they still Super Bowl contenders in your eyes after all these games that we've seen?
I mean, yeah, I think so. And you know what I also think?
Hmm.
Is that I'm an idiot.
For what?
For
Justin
saying
Jefferson?
Gritty was going to go under 1,000 because that man's on track to do like 1,400.
Yeah, he's number one.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He's number one in yards.
He's number 2.
He has the most yards.
I guess fantasy is Jamar's number 1.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just because like he has a couple more catches or tutties or whatever. Chiefs beat the Bucks on prime time, and the Bucks are now on a 3-game losing streak. I'm pretty sure.
I think Travis should have got that last tutty.
Yeah, nope, didn't. Me and Jack needed that one.
I know you did.
Nah, but the Chiefs squeak out another dub. I mean, basically, they played their best offensive game, and their defense played the worst defensive game. So it's been really funny because they keep winning, and it's like you think they maybe will slip up and lose, right? Like, but no, they just have one side of the ball steps up when they need to the most, and this time it was the offense. Mahomes almost got hurt for real, but he still threw 3 tutties. D-Hop had 2. Travis had like 10 catches.
Yeah, and
Kareem Hunt had 100 yards.
You saw Baker when he lost the coin toss. You just knew.
He knew.
He said it's
over.
I was weak.
They need to change that rule, man.
And like they changed it for the playoffs, but let's change it for the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, if we're changing for the playoffs, why don't we just?
Or how about this? How about we just go to college OT? Because give you the ball in the 25 and let's run it.
Yeah.
Let's
see who scores.
That. Like isn't it? They don't get a first down. It's literally like you have to score.
No, you can get first downs, but you get the ball in the 25, and then the other team gets a chance. And then if you go to the second OT, you have to start going for 2-point conversions.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that would spice up the game a lot, and it would immensely help some fantasy.
Yes.
Dude,
because imagine every game
like
goes
4 tutties.
Bro,
4 OTs.
Like back-to-back tutties, just eating.
Dude, that would be so lit.
I
would be praying for OT.
It's so lame when you go to OT and then it's like, oh, defense stops them, 3 and out. Who cares? Like, get them the ball in the red zone and let them cook.
Dude, like, it needs.
We just saw 15 minutes of the fourth quarter. We don't need another 15 minutes of this. Like, we just want to
we just want
to
see we want to see some action.
That's all. Give us some action. They would literally change everything. They did that for fantasy owners. Like, It'd be like, oh, what teams? Like, I would start drafting guys thinking about how many OT games they might play. I'd be
Yeah.
like, you're playing some
Or I
tough games.
wonder if they like imagine fantasy like they chunk down like a touchdown's only 3 points, like in OT.
I'd be
Because it's
pissed.
so like if a game does go to OT, you only get like half the points.
Yeah, I get what you're
Because
saying.
it would be so crazy in
But
so
give
many
me all
different
the
OTs.
points.
Yeah, I want all of them.
Give me them all.
You better put a switch to turn that off.
Because it's like, think about it. If they went to college OT rules, do you have that first OT? Okay, cool. Your guy scores.
Yeah.
The other guys, let's say you're playing Cody. Y'all both have a guy on each team. They both score an OT. You're like, oh my god. They go to the
This
next
is lit.
OT, but then it's only 2 point conversion. So it's
Yeah.
like, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like they're only getting 2 points when they score.
Yeah.
So it's
I
not
think
that
regardless,
crazy.
man, if you score a tutty, even in the OT, like I think you should get a chance.
Yeah, you should.
Like you should give the other team a chance because if they can stop you, then okay, they win the game.
Tell me
But like
about
if you
it.
just score a tutty,
Falcons 28-3.
Yeah.
They didn't get a chance.
no chance.
No chance.
Mm-mm.
The Bills know about that too, bro. The Bills know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so week 11 or week 10 preview real quick. Let's go through just the primetime games first. Thursday night.
This Thursday night
tomorrow.
game's gonna be huge. I want
Huge for the
Bengals to win.
Steelers. Yep. Bengals at the Ravens. 6-point spread. Bengals are underdogs. Now, do we think with T. Higgins out, do we think that matters a lot?
Yes, they're probably gonna get shit on.
Okay. So Ravens will probably cover. Is that what you're saying?
I think the Ravens will win by 2 tutties, probably. But I don't want them to, obviously. But I mean, if they have their full lineup, plus the Deontay Johnson, who's cooked back up into the offense now, probably.
Ravens at home are pretty tough too.
And that's what I'm saying. They're at home too, and
Give
they're
me the
wearing those new
Ravens.
unis.
Yeah,
They're
give
finna
me
be
the
fucking
Ravens.
fired up.
I think you're right.
I think they're gonna eat.
But we can't count out Joe Burrow's been pretty good. So
Yeah.
But they don't have a
that's
good
true.
defense. They don't have...
And I mean, if they don't have the weapons to keep up, I mean, they got Chase Brown. Okay, what's on the other side? Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
The Henry Master.
The Henry Master.
Okay, so Ravens get
That's the Henry.
Ravens definitely getting the dub.
And then another primetime game. Actually,
this is the worst game I have ever seen.
Which one? The Sunday night one?
No, Sunday morning.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that for fun.
That's the worst game.
Giants and the Panthers in Germany.
I'm gonna be sleeping soundly when that comes on.
I'm not even gonna open an eyeball.
I'm watching it because I got the Giants defense.
Watch Bryce Young have like the game of his career.
Have
like 5 tutties.
Sorry, Bryce. I need you to be bad.
He's gonna Adam Thielen's gonna get like 2 tutties.
No, you're not.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be such a bad game. Malik Neighbors might have 200 yards.
Oh yeah. Well, they got J.C. Horn for the Panthers. It's pretty good. I'm thinking Quandale Dingle. Oh, Wandale Robinson has a big game.
Yeah.
Wandale Dingle.
I need him too.
Somebody put that on the parlay.
I'm putting it on my fantasy team.
There you go. I'll be probably drinking
on a beach
margarita or an ice cold
mimosa.
Brew, a mimosa.
Yeah,
on the beach
nice,
watching this shitty game. I might not even turn it on.
Germany they don't deserve that, bro.
They don't.
I shouldn't. They maybe deserve that. They had some bad. I'm just saying. Is that what they get, bro, for Hitler? you like, think about it.
Yeah,
they had Hitler. You get Bryce Young and the Panthers.
You get Bryce Young and Danny
Dimes. Watch this be the best game ever.
What? Oh my god! If they just go for like 50 apiece,
just 45, 44.
No defense. The defense don't even go out on the field. It's just only offense.
They're like, you know what? Let's experiment. Y'all talking about that OT rule? Let's do it all game.
All game. Put them on the 25. Wait, that would be unreal.
For just
15-minute quarters. 4 quarters.
4 quarters
on the 25.
Insane. Nah,
dude.
Fantasy
I think it would actually be like 100.
My whole lineup would be Panthers. Would be Giants. Oh, who are you starting today? I'm starting Jalen Coker for the Panthers.
Jalen Coker.
I'm starting the The third string wide receiver.
Miles Sanders. No, buddy. No. I'm starting what's his name, brother? The backup quarterback. Not Andy Dalton, but the Giants backup. Drew Lock. I'm starting Drew Lock.
Drew Lockey and Andy Dalton. I bet they still get points.
Yep.
They throw them in there for a trick play.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about real quick your game. Steelers at Commanders, 1:00. Both
Why
two
we want
lost
to talk
teams,
about that one?
Because that's a good one. It's one of the best.
It is a good one. Yeah.
A great game.
What's your prediction there?
I'm a little nervous to see if Lattimore is in there.
Marshawn, yeah, he just got traded.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he
but
will be.
I mean, even if he is, I think George can just moss him, and we win.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he could. You can also do other things. You can just run it or to somebody else.
Dude, no, Najee's gonna probably carry this game, low-key. He has been an animal.
Yeah,
And he got a week of rest. Oh, he's gonna be fired up.
He's fired up for the Commanders.
He's fired
Commanders
up.
winning.
What about whoa.
Okay.
Commanders winning.
Cody, why are the Commanders winning?
Because old Daniels is about to win Rookie of the Year, and he's going to put up 5 tutties on the Steelers.
Okay. Yeah.
Show him what an offense looks like.
Talk to him. What if he does? What if he's like? What if TJ Watt comes in the backfield? He does some with the and then to Terry.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's getting nervous.
He's getting nervous.
But I also could see him getting crunched by TJ.
Yes. Crunch him.
No.
Nah.
But low-key, that could happen, bro. And I would feel terrible.
No.
I would feel terrible.
I'd feel lit. I say,
we don't want injuries, man. Come on, man. Jaden
I
Daniels listens to the podcast.
I didn't call for no injuries, man. I just wanted to get crunched.
Yeah, we just give him grunts. That's it.
Nah,
just get a nice little sack.
He dropping about 500 total yards.
Is this game even gonna have offense though? I feel like both defenses are pretty good.
No, this game's gonna be really close, realistically.
Russ is slinging that rock,
and Daniels is too.
Yep,
I don't think so.
Daniels is Timothy.
I'm pretty sure he was kind of mid last week.
It was pretty good.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll see how Russ does this week.
Yeah, we'll see. On the road.
On the road, big game.
Big game. Favored
Give me the Commanders.
Commanders favored by 2.5.
Yeah, I told you that.
Because they're at home.
Yeah.
So what? I'm gonna go with Steelers.
My bad.
Sorry,
bro. They almost lost to the Giants last week.
Yeah, but they already beat them twice.
And we shit on the Giants.
They really didn't almost lose. If you watched that game, they were really beating them.
I mean, we didn't shit on the Giants, but
yeah, y'all.
Monday night. We didn't.
We
was up.
It was that fumble.
We was up.
Russ fumbled at the end of that.
It's fumble schmumble.
Dude, James Daniels had another 128.8 rating. Like he's going crazy, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna cook y'all, Seth.
Yeah, Beanie Bishop gonna pick him off.
Who?
Beanie Bishop is good though.
I know
Beanie Bishop
he
is good.
Beanie Bishop's a beast.
But yeah,
Minka better get active. I haven't seen him very much.
Well, it's because they're not throwing him.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's good.
All right,
the rookie will.
Yeah, he's
the rookie gonna do it.
Beanie's getting picked on because Minka's locking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's getting picks. It's just like when Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland had all those picks because they were getting picked on.
Yep.
But to say all that, Commanders at home. I'm sorry, you're gonna lose to the Steelers. They got a better defense. They're off of a bye. I think that's a problem for a rookie quarterback. I'm sorry.
I like that. And hopefully Brian Robinson ain't playing. If he ain't, then we're going to crush Austin Eckler's old ass.
They don't have a
dirt.
run game. Yeah, that's tough. They don't really have too much brother than Terry.
No, that's what I'm saying. And Terry had 2 catches for 2 tutties last week.
Yeah.
Like 26 yards.
And y'all will have a defensive scheme ready to stop Jaden from running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel good about Steelers.
I do too.
I don't.
Bucks.
Okay.
Bucks and Niners. Is that an interesting, sneaky dub
I
for
think
the
so.
Bucks?
I think so.
It's a
I mean, I
good
think it's
game.
going to be a good game in general. I mean, dude, if Baker had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, he was winning that game last week against Chiefs.
You would.
Yep.
And he's winning. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now, and
Yeah.
I bet he would have won at least 2 out of the 3 of those games, and
Any
they'd be
update?
considered maybe top 10,
They would be.
low key.
And they would be for sure. Is Mike Evans coming back? Let's see.
Week 11 is what I heard.
Ooh, so not this game. Okay. All right. Well, give me the Niners off of a bye week and a tight one.
Oh, and Christian's
Sorry.
coming back.
Yeah, give me the Niners in a tight one.
Mm,
Close.
Give me the Bucks.
Oh,
I want to see the Bucks pull it out.
I
I'm sure
don't.
Baker's gonna be pissed from last week, and he's gonna
Sling it again.
sling that thing. And
I
it's
just-
at home.
Niners are gonna be ready to go off a bye. I feel like.
Mm,
Give me the Niners.
You're gonna lose.
Okay. Prime time at night, Sunday night football. Actually, before I do that, is there anything else? Nope. Okay.
I mean, Eagles at Cowboys would be pretty decent if Dak was playing, but I mean,
Eh. All right. So, prime time is a good one. Texans at home. That's a big one for them.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they get Nico back probably. They're wearing those all red alternates.
That shit's gonna be
Crispy.
Do
clean.
the Lions lose? That's
No,
the question.
I don't think they lose.
I don't think they lose, dude. They are on fire.
The spread in this game is Detroit 3.5.
Yeah,
Give me Detroit.
Give me. They just traded for Zadarius Smith, so I mean that's big for the Lions after losing Hutch. Give me the Lions, but not to cover. I think it could be a 3-point game, so maybe the Texans barely cover the spread. Let's go like 27-24 Lions. But a good game, nonetheless. A good game at night. Awesome Sunday night game.
Awesome.
Now, Monday night, we talked about this early on. I said there was a game that was kind of weird record-wise, but they could be really good because of the offenses. Tua and the Dolphins go to the Los Angeles Rams. Now, think about this, okay? The Dolphins play in the South at home in the nice weather in Miami. They always look pretty good at home. They go in the cold, they don't look that good. Now you're going to Los Angeles, good weather, but you're also in another semi-dome. It's kind of a dome, but
yeah.
it doesn't really matter. It's good weather. So flying high offensively should be no problem. They looked a lot better the last 2 games with Tua back. He's looked pretty crispy. So I think they have a good shot of winning this game. But I don't really know because the Rams with Puka probably playing still are really dangerous. And
The
that
Rams
offense
and
defense
Kyron, dude,
isn't
like,
great. Yeah, I
ugh.
gotta go to the Rams because they're the hot team. You know, like they're like winning and they're feeling good. They're at home. Like to me, Stafford's playing at an elite level right now. The last couple games, give me the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
give
the
me
Rams as well.
What a good
I like
game
that.
though.
You
I feel
talked
like
it
it'll
up.
be
Great game.
fantasy a good game.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
looking forward to
Tyreek,
that.
Tyreek and A-Chain might have big games. I think Waddle maybe even, but I do think Cooper Kupp and Puka and Kyron will have good games for sure.
I would agree.
For sure. But yeah. So let's go in real quick to end the show. We're going to give you guys real quick, fire them off, top 10 rankings so far in the NFL since we're halfway through the season. And if anybody wants to start, feel free. Start from whatever.
Number
rank.
one.
Number 1. Okay, I was about to say, do you want to start at 1?
Oh, I guess we could start at 10.
Make it more
crispy.
dramatic.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, my 10, the Packers.
Oh, okay.
Let me get the
Okay.
Packers in there. I don't know why the Chargers on there, but Chargers all right. But
All
dang,
right.
though.
Put some respect.
They've
They
been
got the
playing
number one. They
good.
got the number 1 defense right now.
They do.
They should come
Interesting.
play us.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I got my 10 is Packers. What's y'all's 10?
Okay.
My 10 is the Chargers.
My 10 is the Niners.
Ooh, wow! I forgot about them. Damn.
I got the Niners at 10.
All right. Number 9,
Number 9,
Yep.
who you got?
the Commanders.
Okay.
Wow.
I got them way down there from what
Okay.
they're at.
I got the Eagles at 9.
I like that. Okay.
Cody?
I got the Eagles as well at 9.
Okay. Number 8.
All right. Number 8, I got the Eagles.
Okay. So we're
Yep.
similar on that.
Yeah.
I have the
Similar spot.
Commanders, so it means that we're similar.
Swap.
Yep.
Swap picks.
Yep. Cody?
At,
Number 8.
at 8, I got the Bills.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Little low maybe.
Little
No.
low.
Okay. 7.
7, I got the Falcons.
Oh. I got the Falcons at 7 as well.
Yeah.
I got the Falcons at 7 as well.
All right.
Clean sweep.
Triple sevens means we winning the money. Baby.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is
We're
kind
going to
of
the Super
lucky.
Bowl.
Yeah, I could see it, dude.
I mean, we could.
Okay.
Number 6.
The Bills.
Bills.
I got the Bills at 6.
I got the Steelers.
Ugly.
That's good.
That's
Ugly.
At
We top
6.
5.
At 6, I got the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, dang. They kind of
5?
down there.
Who do you got at
5. I got the Ravens.
Ravens.
I got the
okay.
Ravens at 5.
I got the Vikings at 5.
I got the Steelers at 5.
Y'all were ranking them
I was
too
the
far.
lowest. Okay.
And number 4, I got the Steelers.
No. Whoa.
Yep. Number 4, I got the Steelers.
I got the Bills at 4.
That's fair.
At 4, I got Washington Commanders.
Cody liked the
You
Commanders.
do like the Commanders.
Number 3.
I got the Vikings.
Vikings 3.
Vikings.
I got the Ravens at 3.
Ew.
At 3, I got the Ravens as well.
That's nasty.
Number 2.
Number 2, I got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs.
Number
And
1,
we
the
all
Lions.
Number 1
Number
is the
1.
Lions.
All
Get the
right.
Lions.
So the Lions and Chiefs going to the Super Bowl.
Lions. Lions and Minnesota. Wait, no, Lions and Chiefs.
Yeah,
that's
Lions
what
and
it'd
Chiefs
be,
in the
yeah.
Super Bowl.
I kind of
Yeah.
hope it's not.
I hope it's not, but
I hope it's the
feels like it
I hope it's
is.
the Raven or no. No, I
Mm-mm.
don't want to say that.
You hope it's the
yeah.
I hope
I
it's the
want-
Falcons
The
rematch.
Steelers and Falcons rematch in the Super Bowl.
That's what would, dude. I probably would not watch that with you. I would
No,
probably
we would definitely. I would
sit in
pull
a
out
corner.
alone. I would pull out alone, and we'd be going to the game.
Oh my god, I need more than a loan. I need to hit the biggest ticket on Hard Rock.
Oh, okay. We gonna sit in the noses bleeds of the bleed.
Is that Kirk? Oh no,
Is
that's
that-
the ref.
Oh, yeah, nope,
That's the
that's not
ref.
Kurt.
I can't tell. Who's performing at? This is Super Bowl in New Orleans.
It's Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, in New Orleans, yeah. Okay. All right, well,
Orleans.
Super Bowl, Steelers, Falcons. Put it up there, man. Put it on the board.
Mark it down.
Put it on the board. Where's the
What's like-
Titans
what's
with the
like
first
the-
pick?
Yeah, who are the Titans drafting, Cody? Who do you want?
I want Cam Ward. Need a
Okay.
new. Yeah, we need a quarterback.
Yeah.
We're
Sounds
not
good.
good at all.
Cam Ward's
Give me
good.
Cam Ward, and we're winning the Super Bowl.
Now what's a dark horse Super Bowl matchup that could be crazy?
A dark horse.
The sleepiest of all sleepers.
The sleepiest of all sleeps.
Packers and Bills.
That's
Packers
sleepy?
and
I mean, sleepy. You want
Yeah.
sleepy?
I'm gonna go Commanders versus the Chargers.
Ew.
I know, but that's the sleepiest thing I can think
Ew.
of. It's like both of them are like Commanders are obviously good, but like the
I mean,
Chargers?
this Loki sleepy. The Steelers
That's-
Falcons.
I mean, that's a sleeper. That's a sleeper, but it's not that crazy.
Loki Titans.
Okay, all right, we're snoozing on that. Like we're not even awake.
We
at
might
all.
not. We might be in the. Whoa! What the fuck was
Cody,
that?
what was that?
I
Is that
said
you?
no.
Bro,
I don't know what
you heard
that was, dude. That's like a demon came out of
Okay,
nowhere.
We're gonna end the show on that.
What happened?
Dude,
Dude,
it was
it's-
like a jump scare.
It
I said
literally was like a
no.
jump scare.
Dude,
It
it's,
was like,
it's like whenever that Warzone, just like Halloween, jump scare.
and you open the box and you
Oh
get
my
yelled at.
gosh. Wow,
That was crazy.
I never want to hear that again.
I don't either. That
Yeah.
was wild.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
You didn't hear it,
Oh,
man. It was
So
you.
it means it was you.
It's the Titan in him.
It was the Titans.
The Titan in me getting angry.
That Will Levis was just yelling from the bottom of the sea. Isn't he starting this week?
Ew.
I don't know who's
Mason's
starting. I
out.
don't care.
I think Mason's out. Y'all just won. Titans just won.
I don't. It's the Patriots, man.
Okay. Patriots used to mean something.
Nah.
Not
No,
anymore,
no,
though.
no, no.
All right. Well, all right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate y'all. We took a little bit of a week off from posting on TikTok and everything. We'll get back to that. But y'all stay tuned. Big week ahead. And obviously, you're counting down the days. Not really. We're looking forward to soaking up every moment. But We are
Yep.
having to count down the days to the playoffs for college football and NFL,
Yes,
so it's
sir.
gonna be crazy.
Yep.
And we
Let's
can't
get
wait.
down to the nitty-gritty.
I'm your host Hayden Haynes. That's Seth Killen and Cody Hart, and you were
Yes,
listening
sir.
to the Muffed Sports Show. We're out.
Yes, sir. See ya.
See you boys.